Om Namo Loe Sarvatrika Varti Ariyantanam. Om Namo Loe Sarvatrika Varti Siddhanam. Om Namo Loe Sarvatrika Varti Ayaryanam. Om Namo Loe Sarvatrika Varti Uvajjayanam. Om Namo Loe Sarvatrika Varti Savanam. Omkaram Bindu Sanyuktam Nityam Dayanti Yoginam Kamadam Moksadam Chaiva Omkaraya Namo Namah. Namaha Samay Saraya Swanubhutya Chakasate Chit Sabhavaya Bhavaya Sarva Bhavantarachide Agnanatimirandhanam Gnana Anjana Salakaya Chaksurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Sri Guruve Namaha Tirthankaro Jagatana Jaivantavarto Omkaranada Jinano Jaivantavarto Jinana Samo Sarana Sau Jaivantavarto Ne Tirthachara Jagama Jaivantavarto Namo E Tirthanayakane Namo Omkaranadane Omkara Sangarotene Namo Te Sri Kunda Kundane Aho Upakara Jinavarano Kundano Dvani Divyano Jina Kunda Dvaniyapya Aho Te Guru Kanano Aho Bhagavati Matano Dhruva Achalane Anupama Gati Pamel Sarve Siddhane Vandi Kaho Sutta Kevali Bhasita Asamaya Prabhrata Are Hun Eka Sudha Sada Arupi Jnana Darshanamay Khare Kai Anyate Maru Jari Paramanu Matra Nathi Are Jama Netra Temaj Jnana Nathi Karaka Nathi Vedaka Are Jane Jakara Moday Nirajara Bandate Majamokshane Om Namasidevyo Om Namasidevyo Om Sri Sudatmane Namaha Jai Jinendra. Today is July 14, 2020, Tuesday, and we are continuing our class on basic Jain principles. So far, we are talking about organ of knowledge, comprehensive knowledge, Pramaan, and we have started that chapter last week, and we took the definition of Pramaan. What is Pramaan? A swapurvat Vyavasatmak Gnanam Pramanam. We saw that one and we went through each and every word to say what is the actual meaning of that sentence. And Atul was kind enough to also give me reference of Pramaan Gnan from other perspective. In actually all the philosophies, they have this comprehensive knowledge chapter. But when you go in detail, there's somewhere along the line differences pop up. And rather than going in whatever the other philosophies, how one differs and everything, we should just stick to the things from a Jain perspective and try to understand what it tries to say. So without further delay, let me bring this screen and then we can start talking from wherever we left out last week. So we talked about Swapurvat Vyavasatmak Gnanam Pramanam. So it has so many words, and so Swapurva Vyavasatmak. So अपना और अपूर्व अर्थ का व्यवसायत्मक ज्ञान प्रमाण है. That's what we looked at it. Sri Manikchand ji Acharya ji ne Pariksha Mukh Sutra, he mentions this one, chapter 1, Sutra 1, Pariksha Mukh book. So Swapurvat Vyavasatmak Gnanam Pramanam. So it's so many words are there. Swa, Apurva, Artha, Vyavasatmakam, Gnanam, Pramanam. and we went through all those definitions of each one. Swa means a self, to know the self. Apurva means which was never been experienced before, and with the meaning of that one, and one which is useful to me, the knowledge, it is called organ of knowledge. That's what we saw it last week. We just gave the definition of Swa. We gave the Apurva Earth means unprecedented entity. Apurva Earth means unprecedented entity which was never been realized by me. Vyavasatmak means it says one is correct judgmental knowledge about the knowledge, or has to be, that knowledge has to be with no judgmental knowledge. When it says judgmental knowledge, means it has to be with no doubts, no illusion, no indecision. And these are the words we are going to go through detail about those things. So, in other class, we have done this one. In our Sunday class, in a Hindi class, we have done this one. So it will be kind of repetition for some of the people, but it will be good because repetition is called the attribute of the soul. One of my good friend, he is also expert in Bhagavad, and he gives discourses on Bhagavad on online, and he said that the scripture says that repetition is the attribute of the soul. So that's nothing to worry about it, because and just now before the start of class we were talking to Sanjay Bhai that repetition is so important, because we have repetition since time infinite about I am the soul, I am the body, I am the body, I am the body. That wrong information, and I had to repeat that infinite times, and so much that now it has become second nature for me that I am the body, I am the body, I am the body, I am the body. To take that notion away, we will have to work a little harder. And it's okay, because let's say that we say it's too difficult, I don't like it. So then you're already in the transmigratory cycle with the wrong knowledge saying the body is mine. So you have nothing to lose. But here, by understanding, number one, before understanding, there is an inquisitiveness. Let me know what is this thing, what this philosophy about. That inquisitiveness is the very first step forward for us. You are joining the class because nobody forced you to just come to the class. You said, well, let me find it out. Let me learn a thing or two. And so the inquisitiveness leads to the knowledge, and that knowledge leads to the determination of the nature of the soul, and that determination becomes by repetition again and again and again and again, so that that knowledge knowledge of the reality, knowledge of the soul becomes so ingrained within me. Then I can say, I am the knowledge, I am the body. That notion now starts shaking away. And I am the soul substance. That knowledge starts setting in. So that Vyavasatmak Gnaan means it has no doubt, no illusion, no indecision, and we'll be talking that in great detail. Let's see next one. Gyan means the knowledge. What is that knowledge? It knowledge for the self. The knowledge has a capacity of self and alien illumination property. This is the most important thing a knowledge can do, and that Gnaan knowledge has a self and alien illumination property. So I can, with the knowledge, I can see, I can perceive myself, and I can perceive the alien objects of the universe. Now, this is the great, great, great property of the soul. And what I have done, that property, that attribute of the soul, and I have used only for one and one thing only since time infinite. That means to know the alien objects. How? Because we are the transmigratory soul. We have sensory knowledge. We have five senses. where it could be 1, 2, 3, 4, or 5. Right now, as a human, we have 5 senses. So we capture the knowledge through the senses. There is a mango on a table. That mango tells that, hey, you know what? I have objectivity attribute. I have prameyatva gun. Objectivity attribute is a common attribute amongst all the soul substance. Means any knowledge can know me perfectly. That's what that mango has said. Mango said, please, I have given my completeness to you, to the knowledge. Knowledge, you know me completely. Instead of knowing that mango completely, how did I know it? I looked at the mango. Oh, it's a yellowish orange color. So I did the job of seeing only. Nose, smell the mango and said, some sweet smell is coming from the mango. Touch said, okay, it's soft to the touch. And tongue said, oh, it's a really sweet mango. So that mango, instead of mango to be known completely in undivided fashion with the sensory knowledge, I ended up knowing the mango in a fragmented form: color, smell, taste, touch. The fragmented form of knowledge is called alien directed knowledge. It's called object, the knowledge of an object, but it's not considered direct knowledge. It's called indirect knowledge. And we'll see that indirect knowledge coming up later on. But we are just talking about Gnaan, the knowledge. What that knowledge can do: alien illumination and also self-illumination. When that knowledge knows the self, a lamp in a dark room does two jobs. A lamp is lightening up all the objects in the room, and lamp also is illuminating self. For that lamp, I don't need another lamp to know this particular lamp. Lamp illuminates the self, and lamp illuminates the object in the room. So self and alien illumination property, same thing. I, as a soul having knowledge, I know the alien object as well as I know myself. But to know myself, it has to be undivided, unfragmented way. Remember that mango was fragmented knowledge through the senses. The self-knowledge has to be unfragmented, undivided, and along with the supersensuous bliss. That should be the self-illumination, which I don't have it right now, which we don't have it right now. It will occur at the time of Samyak Darshan. So that's called knowledge. Again, we are giving overview, and then we'll go in much detail about that property of a self-knowing and alien object knowing property. We will find it. We will go through that one. So with knowledge, one gets happiness and removes. We already talked about the supersensuous bliss. Pramaan means comprehensive knowledge, means which occurs, which is called authentic knowledge. Swapurvarth vyavasatmak gnanam pramanam. Pramanam means authentic knowledge. Then it becomes true knowledge. So having said that, now we can just say, what's a comprehensive knowledge in general? All these things that we talked so far, the true knowledge, the complete knowledge, the virtuous knowledge, that means the enlightened knowledge. Samyak Gnaan is known as comprehensive knowledge. So now we are entering into the chapter of Samyak Gnaan right now. That knowledge, Pramaan Gnaan, is Samyak Gnaan, or enlightened knowledge. So that occurs in fourth spiritual development state. So do I have it? Do we have it? No, but are we going to get one? Sure, we are almost ready to get it. We are nearer. as long as we know the hierarchy, as long as we know the anatomy and physiology of this soul substance, medical school, for first 1.5 years, anatomy and physiology has been taught. And then another 1.5 year, pathological problems have been taught. And then clinical science comes in the picture. So first, over here also, first we have to understand what's the true nature of the soul and what's the true function of the soul, number one. What's a pathological property of the soul, how soul goes into altered state or deluding state. That's what we have to learn. Once we learn that one, treatment is very easy. Now I know this is not right and this is right. Where do I go now? You don't need to be taught that one. You already know now that this is bad path, this is good path. I have to go on the good path. So your personal effort gets effortless. They occur effortless, and now you know the right thing, the right way. Any questions?
And then write their names, all the family.
Hello. Yeah. Let me put this one. Okay. So here we have to understand this fact very well. If we understand the hierarchy, that's what Gurudev Sri Kanchi Swami kept on saying. You understand. That means he kept on saying Swadhyay, Swadhyay, Swadhyay. When I started getting my feet wet, I was asking everybody, but what do I have to do? What do I have to do? And they say, Swadhyay, 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 Swadhyay. And at one point, I got kind of frustrated. What is this Swadhyay, Swadhyay you are telling me? My dad was a learned person, and I was unfortunate not realizing that one. And by the time I realized, he was no more. He used to tell me the soul is this and soul is that and this and that and everything he will tell me. But as a young, impatient person, I'll say, okay, soul is there, let's go next. He says, no, that's not true. You are just not understanding. But then I was so impatient, I didn't listen to him. But anyway, so what we have to do is understand the hierarchy. It doesn't make difference what I am doing today. It's okay. Don't worry about that part. But once you understand the hierarchy, once you understand the reality of it, then your personal effort will occur effortless. A water from the top of the mountain thrown down, a river coming from the top of the mountain, it finds its own pathway. That river doesn't have to be told how to go down. Always water flows down. As long as you have knowledge, you will have the personal effort directed that way effortlessly. You don't have to give any extra effort to do that. That's why now I realize what they meant to say, my teachers and everybody from so many years back. Swadhyay, Swadhyay, Swadhyay. Keep learning, understand. So we are talking this comprehensive knowledge, means Samyak Gnaan we are going to talk now onwards. And what it means that to know the soul having infinite attributes, and also to know that alien objects of the universe is known as comprehensive knowledge. To know the soul having infinite attribute. What does it mean? It means, let me just bring it means you know the self first. You know the self and you know the alien object. That's the nature of this knowledge. Self-knowing, Swaprakasha, and alien knowing, Parprakasha. And that combined together is called comprehensive knowledge, Pramaan. To start with, one has to have this information in her or his mind. Once we have this knowledge, once we have this information properly understood, those who are younger age, they won't understand, but we are the old school of thoughts, and we used to be driving before GPS came, and we used to go to AAA, and they used to go give trip trick. I think if you guys remember that one, that little booklet they used to give and all the things. They will tell us, hey, you want to go from New York to Phoenix? These are the pathways, these are the highways you are going to take, and these and that and everything. And that once I know the pathway, driving was not difficult. I didn't get lost. From New York, I took 95 south. I didn't take 95 north going up because knowledge was there. Similarly, once we have knowledge, then effort becomes really effortless. Effort will be there. So this knowledge accepts and expresses completeness of a given substance. So last week we said, or if we are not said, we'll just say now, a given reality is multifaceted. Simple example. I am the person. Who am I? Well, right now, in conventional way we are talking. Who am I? I'm Kirit. That's my name. But who Kirit? Whose son? Whose father? Whose brother? Whose nephew? Whose uncle? Whose grandpa? Whose grandchild? Where is he living? Where is he living? What kind of profession he's doing? Where was he born? Who are his friends? All those things are called comprehensive knowledge about me. Once we know comprehensive knowledge about me from all the angles, then you make one angle prominent and other angle secondary, and you make the statement. If we are in a Jain congregation, you will say Kirit Gosalia is a Jain person. If I'm with my old friend, then Kirit Gosalia was from Baroda Medical School. If I'm in my hospital environment, I used to be a cardiology doctor. So once you know the completeness of a given entity, then you can have the right, or you are able to be telling that particular one point from perfect way. I think that's last week we gave the example that my boss was, he has a son, and my boss in New York, in Brooklyn, Anthony Cachesi, and his friend met Tony's boy, Tony's son. And the friend says, hey, is Tony, how is Tony smoking going on? And the kid was taken aback. He said, what? My dad smoking? He's never seen his father smoking. So he knows so many things about his father, but he does not know that father used to smoke before. So now one has to know the things. This is example. One has to know the soul as completely as possible, from all the angles, from all the attribute perspective that you can understand. Try to understand. That way, when you try to go to the soul, you will know exactly where you are heading to. You are not blinded. You are not taking a blind faith from anybody. You have understood, and now you are going to go for that way. So having said that, let's see next what's coming next. So this knowledge has to be free from, this comprehensive knowledge has to be free from three things that we came in the previous one. It came Sanshay, Viparya, and Anadyavasai. Sanshay means indecision. This knowledge that we gathered for the self and for alien objects has to be free from any doubts. For example, could this be shell or silver? You are walking on a beach. Something shiny, then you saw it. Could this be a shell or silver? You have doubts, you have indecision, you have suspicion, you have confusion. Viparya, antithesis, reversion, illusion, wrong faith. This is illusion is probably fitting much more. Erroneous cognition. For example, think that shell is silver. He has illusion that he is thinking that he saw the sail on the beach and he thinks that it's a silver. A contrariety, inversion, topsy-turvy, upheaval, false knowledge, disorder, confusion, destruction, distortion. Several names are there for viparya. One thing we have to say, illusion means you think to perceive the reality in altered fashion. I am the physical body, I am Kirit Gosalia. That's my illusion. I am the eternal soul substance. As I had given that example before, we were in New York with one of the gathering several years back, and Sri Atmananji from Koba Ashram, which he has passed away a few months back, he was there, and he was very learned soul and everything. And so we are all listening to his lecture, but before lecture started, there were 30, 40, 50 were there. And so the host said, hey, let's have the introduction for everybody. So everybody says, I'm such and such, I'm such and such, I'm from New York, I'm from New Jersey, I'm from this and that and everything. And then last, the host's turn came and she said, I am the eternal soul substance. And in this modification, I am born as such and such person. So she just opened up everybody's eyes that there is no illusion about it. Yes, you are telling me that I'm Kirit Gosale, but I'm the eternal soul substance. So that illusion. Anadyavasai means in conclusion, to have an inconclusiveness about the nature of the reality. And these three things we are going to talk about it, because that comprehensive knowledge has to be free from all these three guys. So those are the things we'll talk about it to understand what's the reality, how the knowledge gets purified. So Sanshay means indecision, doubt, suspicion, confusion. Is it like this or that? This type of suspicion is known as Sanshay. For example, am I soul or the body? To know this, to know in this pattern is known as Sanshay. Means I have this doubt, could I be soul or could I be body? Could I be, could that thing be shell? Could that be silver? So I have suspicion. Here, MMP, Moksha Prakasha, chapter 4, page 85, it says this one example is given. So we'll have lots of examples coming, reference coming up. So am I a soul or am I the body? That kind of doubt, that kind of suspicion, that kind of confusion. Today I was talking to somebody and I said, you know, confusion is there, means it's a beginning of the right path. Because at least the thought process started working, and this thought process is not an idle one. It keeps on working. So as long as it's been channeled in the right direction, then it will give the answer. At this age, or after so many years, I just said, am I soul or the body? That suspicion, confusion occurs. That means now from that confusion, a ray of light, a ray of hope will come and lead us to the right directions. 100%. So having that sanshay, having that indecision, having the doubt or confusion is a true beginning. So don't get discouraged when you have this, one has this kind of a thinking process going on. It's a great beginning. Moksha Prakasham is an amazing chapter, amazing book that Pandit Todarmalji wrote down. And actually that book is not the book. Actually, it was supposed to be a preface. If you open any Indian book from before, the preface goes for 30, 40, 50, 60 pages. I mean, come on, but then the preface goes so long. So this Moksha Prakashak is actually a preface. And he wanted to write down with each chapter in great detail. But we were unfortunate, and the age determining karma were not favoring for him. And age 32 or 33, he was crushed under elephant. Crushed under an elephant. because the king of Jaipur, he was told by the wrong people that Todarmalji is a fake guy and this and that and everything. So finally, the king gave the punishment, and he said, "You'll be killed under under the feet of an elephant." And so he's been brought down, and he fearlessly comes there, and the elephant comes. An elephant cannot put his feet on this Todarmalji, and Todarmalji says, "You know what, elephant, don't worry about it. It's my life is coming to an end. It's my problem, and you are simply an instrument of cause, so don't worry about it. Go for it." Once that thing happened, once he died, the king realized he made a mistake. It was too late. But that that Pandit Todarmalji wrote down this Moksha Prakasha. It's amazing details are given, and he fearlessly writes all those things. Chapter 4 especially is a really a very eye-opener. He talks about different religions, that how they are differing from Jainism, Islam and Christianity and all those religions, how they are differing. Once saying that, he says, don't get excited. Even Jainism, lots of Jains have different perspective also. And he just start whipping the Jains also, that how you as a Jain are on the wrong path also. So that chapter is a very gutsy chapter, you know. So anyway, so am I soul or body, that kind of Sanshay to occur, that's a indecision or doubt. Now, the scriptures showing the nature of the pure eternal soul, substance, etc., are they really spoken by omniscient Lord or by someone from the other philosophies? For example, is this dried tree or human being? This kind of indecision, Sanshay, means what it says over here in the Brihad Dravya Sangha, stanza 42, that the eternal soul substance definition is given in different religion in different way. Every philosophies, every Indian philosophies, they believe, except for nihilistic, nihilistic way, the rest of the philosophies, they believe that soul is there. But the nature of the soul substance is been perceived in different way. So now I'm reading this philosophy, it says this way. I'm reading this philosophy, it says that way. Now, what is wrong? I'm confused. I'm totally confused. That's called confusion. And Brihad Dravya Sangha gives example. I'm looking at the in the early dawn, I'm going for a walk, and I see in the distance something. Could that be a dry tree, or could it be a human being standing there? I can't make the decision. It's a suspicion, confusion. So that's Sanshay. Is this shell or silver? This is doubt. This is Paramath Vachnika Moksha Prakashak, page 253. It just gives this example. Is this shell or silver? That kind of confusion. So this is Sanshay. So the right knowledge, the comprehensive knowledge, the Samyak Gnaan has to be free from this kind of doubts. It's free from those kind of things. Some example of Sanshay, indecision, furthermore. Religion, is it there or not? Some people say these are all humbug thing and everything. Just eat, drink, and be merry. Why to worry about afterlife and before life and everything? There is nothing like that. Some people believe that. Is it there or not? I have some doubts about it. All know our omniscient Lord. You keep on saying omniscient Lord. He knows. He has a Trilok and Trikalvarti knowledge. Means he knows about the whole universe from 3 different worlds: upper world, middle world, lower world, and knows every substance, past, present, future. Come on, you can speak, you keep on speaking, and I keep on hearing. That's not true. What does this omniscient? I don't believe that one. So the confusion occurs that way. So that's there. One second, this question. Do you only eliminate Sanshay with Samyak Darshan or Prad? The question comes that do you remove your doubts only with the Samyak Darshan or prior to that also? Well, you know, some of the doubts you can clarify. Some of the doubts you can clarify, but that's for the alien objects of the universe probably. But what about me? I'm the soul. How can I remove the doubts? Well, let's say that I accept, and as I said, I used to tell my dad, okay, soul is there, go ahead. He says, no, that is simply speaking about it. Simply, it's a sensory knowledge that you are accepting, but it should be the experienced knowledge, experiencing knowledge. That's a true knowledge, and then the doubt is being removed. So yes, the real doubt will be removed once there is Samyak Darshan, means once one has really experienced the soul substance, and experiencing the soul substance is a Samyak Darshan. And once that Samyak Darshan comes in, then I realize that I am the soul, and besides me, everything else is non-soul entity. And then the doubts are gone totally at the time. So yes, the answer is that real doubts about the nature of the soul will be gone once there is a right knowledge, experienced knowledge. Could this be a phone or iPad or whatever? This is useless information as far the soul is concerned. Soul is concerned, this iPad or iPhone, what difference does it make for the soul? So those kind of doubt I may clarify, but those kind of doubts are not the real doubt. Real doubt is about myself, and that's what one has to keep in mind. So there is another question coming. So do you only eliminate Sanshay? No. Okay, all right, yeah, that's what she said. Thank you. Okay, all right. Okay. So another question. Omniscient Lord is there or not? I mean, you know, right now, I had to take words of my gurus, my teachers, and they learned from their teachers. In the lineage of all these teachers, then finally, Omniscient Lord comes, and he had an experience, and he has said those things. Let me give you one example. I give you one picture of something, somebody's picture. It means nothing to you. It's there. We see on the internet, we just see WhatsApp, tons of pictures. It means nothing to us. But now the picture comes and it says, Hargovind Das Gosalia. Oh, that's my grandpa. And then another picture before that is called Harichand Gosalia, my grandpa's father. Now, okay, I have seen my grandpa, but did I see my grandpa's father also? And my grandpa's grandpa also? No. But if my grandpa says, hey, this was my dad's picture, then I believe it because I have total faith in my grandpa. I have total faith in my parents. So when I have total faith in my Sadguru, and when he tells me, he has any ulterior motive to confuse me. He just gives the fact. Whether I accept or not, it doesn't make difference to the Sadguru. So, in the lineage of the true teachers, this knowledge is coming, so they have told us that the Omniscient Lord is there, and so I believe it, so I understand and accept indirectly. But if I'm that much concerned about it, then they say, you experience yourself. There's a story about Gurudev Sri Kanji Swami coming, in which One time he's sitting with his disciples, and one of the disciples was Himmat Bhai Shah. Himmat Bhai Shah, who is now known as Mama, because he was the Bensri Ben's brother, and he converted all the scripture into Hari Geet in the poetic form. All the scripture, he has done a tremendous job. So that Mama is saying to Gurudev Sri, when you are talking about it, all these philosophies and everything, we get so much engrossed. We think at the time that you have opened the dabba and you are opening the sweets from there, and you are eating the sweets from there. So Gurudev Sri said, hey, the dabba is open, you can also start eating the sweet also. In the sense, now I have an indirect knowledge. So Sadhguru says, hey, you experience, we have experienced that omniscient Lord is there directly. We have experienced in our souls experiencing knowledge. You have doubt, you also experience yourself, you will know it. So here it is. Actually, when I'm trying to tell this story in English, it just loses meaning. But Gurudev, I'll just say in Gujarati. ગુરુદેવ આપ જ્યારે બોલો છો ને તો ડબ્બો ખોલીને ખાજા ખાતા હોય એવું લાગે છે. ગુરુદેવ કે ડબ્બો ખુલ્લો જ છે, તમે ખાઈ લો ને. That's what it says, So here, that omniscient Lord is there or not there. Either I accept, I don't accept. If I don't want to accept, it doesn't make difference to the person who taught you that one. It's up to you to decide. Is there existence of all realms of existence? 4 realms of existence: human, hell, heaven, and the subhuman. Are they really existing? That kind of doubts are occurring in my mind. Can soul be doing its own work, or could be doing work of alien objects also? And this is very important thing, that we always believe that I can do something for the other person. I can take care of my kids. I can take care of my family. I can take care of my society. I can take care of my country. You are just under the illusion. In a wrong concept, you are doing it. You are like the dog walking under the cart, and dog is thinking the cart is walking because of me. Yeah, but this family is running, my household is running because of me. Sure, check out and see what happens. If you check out, maybe your household will run much better than what you used to run. So don't be under all these wrong notions. Soul and body, are they one or different? This is the commonest thing. Sure, we are the student of philosophy. We won't have that idea. But lots of beginner, lots of people who don't understand this philosophies A, B, C, D, they will just say, "Is the soul is there?" One of my friend, and he used to argue with me, friendly argument. He says, "Kid, by show me the soul on my hand, and I will accept it." How can I explain that soul is formless, and I cannot explain to him, I cannot put the soul on his hand. His hand itself is a soul, because soul's space points are present there. But it's difficult for me to explain to him. Anyway, so is soul and body are different or same? That kind of confusion people have. Could soul be doing activity or for the body or not? Can I do the work of the physical body, controlling my weight, controlling my diabetes, controlling the high blood pressure, controlling whatever? If you control everything for the body, then why do you have the gray? Make it black, not with the dye. Yeah, you'll come back tomorrow with the dye and say, "Oh, I made it black." No, make it natural black. It won't be. So you can't do the work of the body. Can one be religious if indulges in the activities of auspicious and inauspicious? This is very important point. I am doing auspicious act. Can I be called a religious person or not? This is the commonest question comes all our minds. I'm doing austerity, compassion, charity. I'm going to temple. I'm doing annotation. I do self-study and everything, vrat, tap, jap, bhakti, swadhyay, etc., etc. So all these auspicious activity I do, am I considered as a religious person or not? This is the commonest question we all have it. If you go in detail, then the Gurudevs will say, no, you are not on the religious, just by doing auspicious. Inauspicious, we don't want, we know inauspicious is not the right thing, but what about auspicious activity? Yeah, doing auspicious activity alone without any aim for going to the eternal soul substance cannot be called religious act. So these are some of the examples of indecision that we saw it. Okay, let's go further. Viparya, this is a big chapter right now. Viparya is a big chapter, illusion. That illusion is called antithesis, reversion, illusion, wrong faith, erroneous cognition, etc. For example, to think that shell is a silver, to think that body is a soul, that kind of a contrary view, that kind of topsy-turvy, upheaval, false knowledge, disorder, confusion, destruction, distortion, these are called viparya. So that's the one we have to understand that we are going to take more time because this one is a really a big chapter and it's very important. Once we understand, then there is so much clarity will occur that what is a soul substance made up of, and etc. etc. So to know something in exactly opposite way is known as viparya. For example, to know that I'm a physical body, I just have to know that I'm a physical body. That kind of knowledge I have it, that's called illusion. Moksha Prakashak, chapter 4, page 85. So that's because I am the eternal soul. Instead of that, I have to consider that I'm a physical body. That is my problem. So then, do I not do any function of the body at all? I become sick. Do I not take medications? Do I not take insulin for my diabetes? Do it. Take it. Take care of it. But it should be clear from within that this is a physical body's problem, not my problem. I'm the soul substance. That clarity has to be there. We can do those acts. It's okay. There's nothing wrong. But the belief, the understanding is very important. So illusion. I'm living in the illusion since time infinite. I'm the body, I'm the body, I'm the body. When I was in the nigod, lowest form of life, from there I became 1 sense, 2 sense, 3 sense, 4 sense, and now 5 sense sentient being. Still, body is mine, body is mine, body is mine, body is mine. Little mild ailment for the body comes and I make whole house go upside down. Or better yet, every evening I end up getting a headache. So there's a 5:30 in the evening. Oh, I'm going to get the headache. I'm going to get the headache. And I made the whole family become crazy for that. I don't have a headache right now, but I'm just saying this headache is coming. It will come. Definitely it will come. So this kind of knowledge is called illusion. To know a thing erroneously is viparya. To have imagination according to one's desire is viparya. And to use the Gujarati word is called swachhand. Swachhand means the self-willed person. He decides himself what is right and what is not right. Without knowing the reality, he can give his opinion. He will just put his foot and say, this is what it is. No, this is not right. So, the Mokshastra, chapter 1, Sutra 32, or the Tattvat Sutra, chapter 1, Sutra 32, that it just gives this kind of information to us. A given substance is with multiplicity point of view. To know it as only one eternal or only transient is illusion, viparya. For example, to know shell as silver, Brahadravya Sangar stanza 42. Here, this is important to understand. A soul having multiple point of views. Soul can be perceived from the substance perspective, and soul is eternal in nature. Soul is perceived from the modal perspective, and soul is transient in nature. So what perspective you are looking at the soul? So when Gurudev is giving pravachan or Acharya Bhagwan is writing the scripture, he will say soul is eternal. He is not going to go in details to say that because of the substantial perspective. He's not going to say all the things. He says it's your headache to understand all the things. I'm just saying soul is eternal. That means what I'm talking right now is I'm making one point predominantly, and the second point I'm making secondary. Soul has a mode which is transient in nature. Soul is a substance which is eternal in nature. So now, if I'm talking for eternal perspective, then transiency is a secondary. When Acharya Bhagavan is talking from transient perspective, then the eternity is secondary in that. For example, Srimad Ji wrote down, He Prabhu su karu dina nath dayal hu to dosha anantano bhajan chu karunat. Oh Lord, I am eternal. He Prabhu su karu dina. Yeah, I had the fault since time infinite, but that's from transient perspective he's talking. Each moment, each mode, I have an altered presentation. So he's talking from transiency perspective. The same Srimad Ji, then he says, Suddha, soul is a Suddha Buddha Chaitanya Gan Swayam Jyoti Sukhadam. That means he's talking from eternity perspective. When he's talking from eternity perspective, transiency is secondary. When he's talking transiency perspective, eternity is secondary. But instead of knowing both the sides, one knows only one aspect. And that's why this is called illusion. Now, remember, next sentence I'm telling, it is not to degrade other philosophy. It's just how Jainism and other philosophies differ. That's a whole point. So don't take it. It's just we are trying to make this point go across. So please don't read it any other different way. And even Acharya Bhagwan also doesn't write that way to degrade other people. It just says what's a right. So soul, from in Jain perspective, soul is eternal, soul is transient. Wait a second, are you nuts? Just say one thing. Is it eternal or transient? Why do you say eternal and transient both? Because eternity and transiency both reside in the soul substance at the same time. Only thing, I'm talking from eternity perspective right now, and next moment I'm talking from transiency perspective, but they both exist in the soul at the same time. So one second. So but this question coming, is this anekantvad? Yes. This is the soul is eternal, soul is transient. The anekantvad, multiplicity point of view, what it means that at a given time in a substance, two exact opposite things residing and operating, that's called multiplicity point of view. Once again, at a given moment, in a given substance, two exact opposite things to reside and operating at the same time. That's called multiplicity point of view. Soul from substance perspective is eternal in nature. Soul from modal perspective is transiency in nature. So eternity and transiency both operate at the same time in a given substance. Now, other philosophy says, you guys are nuts. We believe, other philosophies, we believe soul is eternal only. Or other philosophy like Buddhism believes soul is transient only. Vedanta philosophy believes soul is eternal only. The Buddhism believes soul is transient only. Jainism says no. Eternity and transiency both exist together. If soul is eternal only, then why to worry about whole thing? Because I'm pure and eternal, that's it. So I don't have to do anything. Then why do I do this anger, deceit, ego, greed, and this and that and all kind of thing? Because transiency is also within me. When soul is only transient in nature belief, then this present soul lasts for one samay, next soul, next samay, next samay, next soul, third samay, third soul. So that means number one soul committed crime, and 10th number soul, for example, end up getting punishment. Somebody else is doing crime and you get punishment. Could this be right? So to have same soul, he's committed the problem today, same soul is getting the punishment in the 10th samay. So these are the things that Jain philosophy puts forward. And that's why these words will come out the same. Transiency and eternity, so substance will come out, the name will come out, because words are limited. So limited words and unlimited things to be explained. Word bhav alone. Word bhav in Gujarati, I can give it 28 different meanings, 28 to 35 different meanings of that word. So word bhav written alone doesn't mean that I know everything. I have to understand in what context that word is written. Anyway, so that's called illusion. To believe only in one facet of the reality is called illusion. Some examples of viparya. Time. Well, 2 minutes are there. We'll finish this slide. One considers all philosophy the same only. This was the question came in my Pachala class. 10-year-old child asked me a question last Friday, and I was really amazed that the depth of knowledge the child had it. Born and brought up in this country, but say, does all the philosophies, don't they say the same thing? And I have to say no, because you have to go to the nitty-gritty of the working of that philosophy. What's the really cause for those things? So yeah, I mean, could anybody be wrong? Everybody's right in their own way, but when you put everything together and take one aspect, then that reality is perfect. Nobody knowing me, and they say they know my name only. Oh, Kirit Gosale, I know him. He's living in Phoenix. That's all he knows. Does he not know right thing? Well, my name he knows, where I live he knows, but he doesn't know any other background from me. So that knowledge is not called right knowledge. One considers milder form of passion as religious act. I'm having the auspicious act going on, and especially Paryushan is around the corner coming up, and I'm doing all the auspicious thing. Am I not religious? One considers Lord as the doer of the universe. Bhagwan ni marji thi karya thai che. Whatever Bhagwan wants to do, it happens, and so we can't do anything about it. And especially we talk this thing when somebody died or something. Oh, it's a God's will. What did God do wrong? The guy was supposed to die at the time he died. He smoked throughout the life and he drank throughout the life. He killed himself every day. Now he died and now we blame it to the Lord. That whole whatever Bhagwan ni marji. Why do we have to blame to the poor Lord? What did he do wrong? I by myself decided to go on the wrong path, and I am in the wrong. I'm suffering at the result. Bhagwan's mercy. No, don't do that. One considers the auspiciousness as a path to liberation. Subhav karta karta suddhata thashe. By doing auspicious activity, one will obtain right faith. Wrong assumption. It's a illusion. So these are the Viparya example we saw, and as I said, lot more to come in this one. It gives us idea that where the knowledge, every philosophy believes in knowledge, but what is that knowledge is? What's the true form of knowledge? That's what we have to learn over here. And if we look at it from impartial way, it is a lot to offer. Lot more answers that we have questioned in our mind gets answered. So, as if they don't get answered, don't follow. Don't go blindly just because somebody told you. No, experience it. Put that knowledge to work and find it out from your own experience what is right and what is not right. So here we'll stop. If there's any questions, we'll take it. 1 hour passed by so fast. I took 1 extra minute. I'm sorry for that. Go ahead. Any questions? A couple of minutes we can answer the question if you have questions. Yes. Anything else? Anybody?
Not today, Uncle. It was pretty good.
Okay. All right. Thank you. Bye. Okay. If there's no question, then we'll stop over here. Okay. जावाणी के ज्ञान से सूझे लोकालो सोवाणी मस्तक नमो सदा देत हूँ 9 times नमो का मंत्र Jai Jinendra. Thank you. Michami Dukram.
Jai Jinendra, Michami.